Okay, welcome to the show, everybody, with LinkedIn Labs. This is an exciting one because we have a guest this time, and we're going to be breaking down some messaging. We're going to have some fun, and we're going to ask some questions. But most importantly, as you all come in here, we want to know where you're tuning in from. So if you let us know in the chat, where are you tuning in from? What's going on with you this week? And then also, if you have any exciting news on anything that's happened, let us know. For those of you who are tuning in from the States, we have 4th of July next week, which means most people probably aren't going to be working. And with that being said, there will be no LinkedIn Labs next week, so you can enjoy your time. But we are going to get into it today so that you can, after July 4th, get after it and level your prospecting needs. So we have Kelly here, VP of Sales Development at HiBob. And what I really want to ask you first before we go in the intro, Kelly, is we're talking about travel. So you weren't prepared for this question, but now I'm curious. If you could pick one place in the world to live for a year, what would you pick internationally?
I would actually pick Nassau, Bahamas.
Okay, what is the reason you picked that?
I am a beach girl. I love it there. I go there quite a bit. I love the people, the vibe. I love all of it. So I would do that for a year. And I feel like it's close enough to home where if I had to get back. So there's plenty of places in the world I would say yes. But as far as I wouldn't worry about the language, what I speak. So I could do that for a year very quickly and pack up today and no problem. I'd go.
That is actually a good point. Like, because some places it's like, there would be great, but you have to understand the language, or like if you don't know the language, they're going to be like, why don't you know the language? And it's like, okay.
Yeah. So I'm thinking of two things really quickly, like my currency and my language. Good. Suitcase. Yeah. I'm fine.
Simple enough. So we got Iceland in the house. Have you been to Iceland? I've never been to Iceland. So
I have. It's so beautiful.
Okay.
I went over New Year's 4 years ago. It was awesome.
All right. Shout out to Iceland. I did not know that. Time zone alignment. Yep, you got the time zone alignment. So cool. Everybody tell us where you're tuning in from. Tell us where you're at. Super excited this conversation today. We're going to talk about how do you stand out in the LinkedIn inbox, right? What are some outbound things you can think about? Kelly leads an entire sales development team, and also she does coaching as well. So we're learning from someone who's actually in the weeds here. This is not theory. But Kelly, if you would like to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your background. What brings you here today? Yeah. What gets you excited about sales development? And then we'll get into the conversation.
So thank you so much. I just want to say I'm really excited to be here. I love this. This is such a great topic and one that's really top of mind for a lot of people right now. So I've been in sales development. Some have, inside sales, business development, my entire career. So I started a long time ago. I started when it was down to paper. We didn't even have the internet yet. So you weren't sending emails. But once that started, I saw the price of software and tools starting to fall. And I thought, gosh, where everybody wants to go into out in the field sales, there might be a real play here. And I loved it. So I continued my career, started managing there, consulting. I had my own outsourcing company, and I've just continued. And then when I have the opportunity to go into a company that I really like, I feel it with what they have for products like HiBob. That's how I got here. I go for it. And so I have a global team here and all over the world, all going out, trying to talk to people about the HR space. And I just last year published my first book. So that's super exciting to me. So talking all about the sales world and how emotional intelligence and artificial intelligence come together.
Awesome. And y'all, I'm going to go ahead and put this up here as well. If you want to grab Kelly's book, it's going to be up here in the QR code, and we'll flash that throughout the segment. And also, if you're new to LinkedIn Labs, what we do here is we break down exactly how to break through strategic accounts. I think that's why you're here. Most people here are probably SDRs, AEs, or sales leaders leading a team, or maybe you're a business owner as well. But our whole entire thing is to actually figure out what you need to do right after the session so you can go in the weekend, book some meetings, and get yourself excited. So we do this on a weekly basis. And as you come into these sessions, if you have questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. Kelly and I are prepared and ready to answer any question across the board as well. And some travel stuff, because we were just talking about we're talking about France. We're talking about how bad the Paris airport is. Literally worst airport in the world.
Almost missed my flight. Terrible.
Like literally the worst airport. I hate that airport. But let's dig in. So guys, shout out to everybody coming in. We got Dallas, we got Kansas, we got Orlando, we got Austin, Texas in the house. We were just talking about Austin.
Woo, woo. Used to live there. Love it.
So we have New York in the house. We got Philadelphia. So we got a lot of great people. And so let's dive in. So first thing I want to ask is, when it comes to the world of prospecting right now in sales development, what is the number one thing people need to do more of? And what is the number one thing that people need to do less of? And obviously you've seen a lot. So now it's just understanding what people need to do from here.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's interesting. I think that in sales, like life, you have to imitate what people gravitate towards. So when I say that, what I mean is a lot of content right now. So I can remember back in the day when I worked at a video conferencing company, and it was the first high definition video conferencing company to come out. Our competitors were not HD, and they were like, we don't need HD, not important. But TVs were turning to HD. So I actually needed that, and so did other people, because that's what you get used to.
Yep.
Why I say this, it's the same with what we gravitate towards on our personal time. Videos, things like that. That's what I want to see. Quick hits, quick content, pull me in to want me to go down the rabbit hole further. It gets uncomfortable because a lot of people haven't done videos, or it takes time, or they're not sure how to do it. But when you learn those skills, it's so helpful. And I look for it. If I can get a quick video today, that's great. But if I'm getting so much content like emails, nope, I'm moving right along.
Okay. And then so that kind of talks about what people should do. So it's video. Question for everyone in the audience here. I know we have a wide range of roles. And again, shout out to everybody tuning in on this Friday. Have you all done videos in your sales process? So that could be video prospecting, which I'm about to ask Kelly here, video selling. Let us know in the chat. Just put a 1 if you do, and 2 if you have not done this at all. And if you are 1, let us know if you've seen success. But I think a lot of people are afraid of this, and there's a lot of reasons probably why. But would love to hear from you, Kelly, on if you're saying video helps the person stand out. How many videos have you received in your LinkedIn DMs? And then let us know that. And then also, if someone were to send you a video, what should they say and what should they do if they were looking to book a meeting with you?
So I get very few. So video and voice. So if you want to start into the world, you can even do just the voice messages.
Yep.
But I get very few. The ones I do, I instantly hit play. I'm like, I wonder what's behind that play button. That's part of it. So then you get in, and a lot of times it can just be an introduction. You don't have to sell me. Start building the relationship like you would in sales. If you call, just why they were interested to reach out to me and thank me for connecting. That's great. That's a first touch. It doesn't have to be everything one shot done. Start building on that and then come back a little bit later. Just reaching back out and, say something that's more personalized, but that really hits. And I think people think you get one shot at this, and you don't. They think it's just, again, it's a pitch, but it's a different way. And I'm saying, no, use it as a way that, like we're talking right now, start talking to me. You have this great opportunity to actually catch me live in DMs. So where people can't, there's multiple phone numbers. Do I have the right one? How am I going to connect? This is amazing. You're going to get to the person you're reaching to. Now it's how do I entice them to speak with me? So that's why I love it.
Let's go a little bit deeper to it. And somebody said here, I believe, so Sylvia saying, hey, sadly, when Gmail sees video, they see it through junk. That's why I recommend to send this through LinkedIn. That's what we're talking about here. Don't think about this in terms of email. Think about this in terms of putting it on LinkedIn, because then you're not going to get blocked by a server, because you can directly message the person. Now, you have to be first degree connected, but again, it will go through. But let's talk about videos a little bit more, because you're saying that's the way to stand out for you. I'd love to hear what your team's doing. But from your perspective, how do you want to see someone in the video? And so what I mean by that is, do you want to see them like walking outside? Are they okay with just like a normal background? Like, does dress matter here? Like what's important to show up in the video?
So a lot of times, again, if the video starts and it's just about a pitch, nope, then you've lost me again. I want to see something fun. So if we think about what in video these days in your personal life catches your attention, something fun, TikTok-ish, those are great. So I have a few people on my team that actually there's messaging about Hi Bob in there, but they're doing it in a very fun way. So using tools like CapCut and going in and pointing at different things, making it really quick, maybe some music in the background.
Yeah.
At least it's caught my attention to know what it is without actually, again, being sold. So that's super fun. You can be outside. You can, as long as, again, what is the end result that you're trying to get to? Are you trying to at least just thank me to start for the connection? Is it that, hey, want to start this connection? I saw something, make it personalized. Hey, I saw that you wrote a book. Awesome. Just went and looked at it. I'm going to get a copy, whatever it is. So doing that personalization, and it doesn't have to be long. That's connect one. You can come back a little later. Hey, saw something else that you did, or this was interesting. Again, I want it to be fun. I want it to be short. I don't want to have a whole, I can't stay on for minute after minute, something quick and something that entices me.
Okay. So you're also, to clarify that as well, you're saying it's okay if someone sends you 2 videos.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So y'all are hearing it live here right now. So it's okay to send 2 videos. They just can't be the same video.
Correct.
Or even I want to hear about this too, because I know a lot of people are considering this. If someone sends you a video and then it ends up being an AI video, how do you feel about that?
Yeah. So the AI video, obviously there's so much with AI these days. I'm okay with it as long as you got to make it crisp. So if the words aren't matching up with the mouthing, and I'm all set. And I know it's still, people are still building that out, but that doesn't land with me because then I know. Again, I want it to be personalized, and I'm okay with it if it's an image of you, but that doesn't work for me.
Okay, so question that we have in here saying, are these videos native to LinkedIn, which means they like shot them on an iPhone and just uploaded them with no captions, or do they have like a link, like a Vidyard link that you have to click, or like a CapCut style video? So I guess which videos do you prefer?
Yeah, I prefer iPhone, CapCut, things like that.
Okay.
Make it fun.
So basically someone's asking here, like, if someone were to send you like a Vidyard, are you more hesitant in clicking that because it's a link? Like, what's your perception on that?
Yeah, Vidyard I find more success actually. That's where I find more success in email.
Yeah, yeah.
So on LinkedIn, again, I feel it's like this. When you're using LinkedIn to make these, we connected through LinkedIn.
Yep.
I want it to feel personalized. Again, like we're having this live conversation, even though it's a video. That's what I want to feel on LinkedIn.
Okay, cool. Brian, hopefully that helps answer your question. And then Sola, I believe I'm saying that name right. Let me know if that if it helped answer your question as well. And y'all, let's keep the questions going as we're here. And I want to take a step back because you mentioned your team, right? How many people do you have on your team so people contextually understand how big this team is? And then when it comes down to you said fun videos that people are doing, what are some things that your team is doing on LinkedIn to get responses? And what are some things you're like, man, we're really testing this out, or we want to get more out of this part with LinkedIn?
You got it. So my team is 61 people globally. So we have people all throughout Europe, Australia, in New York, but we represent everywhere. So different languages, and this isn't just a US. We're doing this throughout the world the same way with videos and language specific. So trying to capture different audiences with different messages. And really and truly, it's the ones that are very quick hitting. There could be some fun music in the background that we send out, that the offer can be like at the bottom of this screen, welcome to LinkedIn Labs. You can have something that we want you to do without actually saying it. So it's there subliminally, like, go do this. But we're just pointing out some additional things throughout. So we've had the ones that we're that we've had the most success with is just that, like the cap cut and, like I was saying, pointing at different things of what we do. But there's fun music. You see the actual person, you know we're real. When we talk about a world in AI, that's also super important to know that more than ever, you have to have that emotional intelligence has to come in somehow.
Yep.
People don't want it just to be bots. They don't want it to be something that's so fake. They actually want to know that they're talking at this point to a real person. So that's why that actually works when they know, hey, this is who you're talking to. If you want to have that meeting, you're going to be talking to me. And people like that.
Awesome. So that makes sense there. And then in terms of like things that you could see as an improvement for LinkedIn, what are things that y'all are working on right now, or you're looking to just get better at?
Yeah, I think looking to get better at it, what message is going to land. I think things change so quickly now.
They do.
That you have to stay up with this. That's where I say if you haven't started with the videos or you're too nervous with it, at least start with voice messaging. Start with that, see what hits. Do A/B testing. You have to try it though. And what people are most afraid of, I think it becomes the imposter syndrome. Like, why do they want to see me? Why do they want to hear from me? Oh my God, what if I look bad? People don't, that's not what we're doing here. It's again, the same things that I'm looking at online in my personal time. It's the strangest things that end up, you pick up and go. I've seen some crazy videos and you look down at the number of hits. It's like, what?
Yeah.
And usually, if you follow like Gary Vee and things like that, he'll even say, just do something. Content. It's all about content. You never know what's going to hit. So try multiple things and don't get so concerned with what you look like or what it sounds like or did I mess up. That actually might be the thing that makes you so real that people connect and want to talk to you.
Yeah, I think the thing I always tell people when I work with teams or just coaching people is that, like, if you try something new, you're back at where you started. So even if it doesn't work, you're exactly where you were to begin with. So, but if one thing works, you got a little bit better, which is better than nothing, right? So that's the way I always think about this. And I see some questions in. We're about to answer that, but I have two questions for Kelly that are really important. For those of you who are leading teams, or you are maybe getting onboarded right now, or you want to try out video, this question is important. So it sounds like you have I wouldn't say probably every single person, but the majority of the team sounds like they're doing some level of creativity or videos or trying to get on LinkedIn. So what are you doing in your onboarding process to get people comfortable and confident to do these things?
So that's really a great question. Because I show them the results and then they see it. And then it's a buildup. So I will say that if they haven't done it, they're not used to it. It's just, I have to give them a little space.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't just throw them right in there. Like, you got to do it tomorrow. But once they see what others are doing and having success with, then it becomes easier. And again, you just have to be comfortable. Put everything aside. Don't care what you look like. Don't care. Again, just go out there for a second, try one and see what happens. And just let your comments about in your own personal thought process, let it go. If maybe don't even review it, maybe just throw it out there for the first one and see what happens and see if you get response.
Yeah. I think that's the thing, is like seeing what level of response you get and then doubling down on that. And the second question I have is, okay, you have people sitting on videos. There's all different formats on how you're doing that. Obviously, we're getting in front of these people. One thing you also mentioned is Gary Vee, which is a hero of mine. I met him multiple times. Have you met him before?
5. This is for Gary.
5 times?
No, 5 for Gary.
I thought you said you met him 5 times. I know he does the 5, but I was like, I thought you met him 5 times.
Yeah, I wish I met him once.
He's a very, very, very caring and awesome person, at least when I got a chance to talk to him. And obviously he talks about like creating content. And he was actually the reason why I started creating content in 2016.
Awesome.
I had a conversation with him and he was like, you should be a sales rep creating content, and let it to what it is today. So my question to you is, what do you feel about sales reps creating content? My assumption is that your answer is yes, but then why is that important for people? How should they do it? And then you don't target salespeople. So I want you to also speak into that because I think the misconception, I think a lot of people in the chat would probably agree with me on this, is that they think that it only creating content as a sales rep only works if you sell to salespeople or marketing people. I've seen where that is not the case, but I want to hear it from you because you have your team.
Yeah, no, I'm actually creating content for C-level, for so many other people. Again, I don't have time. My email is full.
Yeah.
So even with the phone, I tell people,
How many
just pick
emails
up
do you
the
get per
phone.
day? How many emails do you get per day? If you had to guess.
Oh my God. I don't even know. Hundreds.
Okay. Okay. Just hundreds. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Just clarify.
And I'm literally first sentence, delete, 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 delete. But again, if I see that play button, it intrigues me because I want to know what's behind it. So I watch those. And again, I'm not, this is for all different levels, but I just feel like in this day and age, you have to be different. You have to try new things. Time, we don't have enough of it. So you have to catch people really quickly. And I just feel like media that is, for me, I love seeing. And I'll grab it. I can get a couple things, quickly hear it. I can still be doing something else in the background. Awesome. Move on. And at least there's the connection. And then that's where I'm saying it's okay to send stuff back. Because the more I hear the name, all of a sudden, like, wait, I actually remember what this is. I do need this now, or I want to see and learn more about that. So you have to have fun with it. I don't know what's going to hit for every person out there. Something that works for you, Morgan, is not going to work for me.
No.
That's why I say you have to try different things. Some crazy thing that I put out there might have nothing to do with anything really professional that all of a sudden hits on LinkedIn. I don't know. That's why you've got to try the different things. If you think about even LinkedIn in general, when you put up even just a post, I'm always surprised the ones that I do all of a sudden start getting so many messages on. Like, that was the one that people want to talk about. Like,
it's only the one that's like the less effort. You're just like, yeah,
yes,
whatever. It goes crazy. And you're just like,
yeah. So I think, just that's just it. In this day and age, just try different things. I think back and I tell people all the time in this day of AI, oh, don't you think the SDR role is going to go away? And this, no, we're just in a stage of evolution. And so I think about Blockbuster Video. So when Blockbuster Video was how I rented movies, they didn't go with, they could have been bought by Netflix. They didn't. And then Netflix is where it is. Movies didn't go away. Watching movies at home didn't go away. Just streaming. It became a different way that you had your content. So that's why I say this is not going away. You just have to be part of this next generation. So the quicker you learn how to do some of these things, the more runway you're going to have. You want to be out in front. Look at yourself. You just got back from con. I mean, those are amazing things. I'm sure you didn't think that was going to happen to you a couple years back. So amazing.
No, I did not think creating content as an SDR would get me to count. There's not a, I can't even lie to you and tell you that was a possibility.
It's amazing.
And I want to, and I see the questions, everybody, I see your questions. We're going to answer them, but there's a very important question I want to ask because we're still in this conversation. This is important for everybody. So you're putting content out there. You're saying this is important. My philosophy, what I believe in, what I tell people is that your exact point is that outbound is important, but also you have to do content, and it's really, you have to do both. Because if you don't do both, then people are not going to know who you are. But if you do a lot of content and then you're not also reaching out, that also could lead to you missing out on opportunities because everything's due to timing. So for your reps that are creating content, how are you guiding them to create content while they have to carry quota?
You got it. So this is what you find out. I think when people ask me what's the difference between my top reps, they're always finding the time. They know what we have to do in an 8-hour time frame to get to, calling, emailing. There's all of these touches. So, and I will even let people know this. So prior to COVID, it was about 11 touches to get through. We're up over 20 now to try to get to people, different touches, different ways that we go, that all of a sudden they want to, speak to us. So it's multiple touches. So during the day, you know what you have to do. The top reps, they do this stuff because they want to. So you have to be different. You have to want to try different things. And it seems like a heavy lift when you haven't done it before, and your first few videos will be. I mean, they took some reps of mine, I will say, like an hour to get comfortable with, oh, did this look right or that? But once you do it, it's like anything. Then it's boom, got it. Let me throw a quick one together, get that out there. Let me do something quick, get that out. And again, start even with the videos, record it. I mean, the voice if you have to, and then start adding the background to it. But go and do the research on your own time. It will only help your career. Go see what other people are doing. Like you learned about your product, or you spend time learning about competitors in your space or what's working for others. This is just a skill set that's going to go with you, not just at the current position, but it's something that you need to take with you in multiple positions. And again, with AI, this is coming at us faster than ever. You're going to miss the opportunity if you do not get ahead of it now.
Okay, you're hearing it from Kelly here first. So we're at the halfway point, and you'll know at the halfway point we got the DJ horns. We're at the halfway point. So if you've enjoyed this so far, let us know in the chat, and then we're gonna answer everybody's questions. But I'll make sure that everyone is having a good time, enjoying the conversation. And then we're going to go in here and answer some questions. So now is your time to ask questions before we move into the next piece here. But want to make sure that everyone's enjoying it. Let us know in the chat if you're enjoying this conversation. So with that being said, there are a couple questions that we did have. So Marcus was asking, so you're saying editing, things of that nature. He's just asking, how about short to the point raw videos with no editing? Does that still work? That's what he's asking.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, some of the ones that I've had mistakes in, people find it great because, again, it shows that I'm human.
This one is, what about the average time it takes to make a personalized video edit? I think this is going to vary for everyone, and you kind of already answered this. Probably like what a first video is going to take 45 minutes, an hour. But if you want to speak a little bit more contextually to that, you can.
Yeah. So again, it's just when you're learning it up front, you'll probably, it's the same when, you know, the first time you heard your voice when you recorded it, you're like, oh, I don't want to.
Or you listen to your cold call and you're like, what was I even saying?
Yeah. Oh my God. I laughed so hard at those, and I still do it.
I was like, I sound so bad.
So bad. And I actually like to share those when I do that even today. We all have a day, right? We still mess up after years of me doing this. But that also makes you human with your team. They go, okay, so it's not just me making a mistake today. So those are good. Save those, because you can do a video down the road of all the cuts. Like people also, I've had somebody send me one of all the times they made a mistake trying to send to me, and I thought it was funny. But at first, getting used to it, getting used to your voice, seeing yourself, being like, oh, I didn't know I used my hands that much. Whatever it is, it's going to take you longer. And then once you realize again, it doesn't matter, you know, move all that aside, just keep going. You can do them really quick. You could get one out every single day. It's again, Gary V, just get it out there. You never know what people are going to respond to.
Yep. 100%. And that kind of leads to this next piece, which is, after receiving a reply via messenger with voice or video, keep using voice or video, or switch to text replies. This one actually is a really good question. My take on this one is, if somebody replies with the video, then we just do videos back. Like, it just depends on how they respond. But I'm curious on your perspective.
Yeah. So a lot of times, if I do the voice or video, once I have them, then that's where I will start just switching to text, just to see if they come back. Now, if they don't, then I could go back with a video. But sometimes I feel like the text back is real quick. So if I have their interest, I want to get back to them as quickly as possible because something already got them. So I don't feel like you have to stay within video and keep doing that.
Okay. And so next question here is, speak to the length of the outreach. So basically, how long is the video? And what do you believe works? And then how important is the hook in the video? What's the most important thing? But how important is the hook? And then in that first 30 seconds, what is the structure you recommend? So this is this person's question. Basically, what is the structure of this video for success?
You got it. So before I answer this, I want to hear from you, since you do so much content. So if somebody's coming at you with a video and you're in this space, like, how long is a video that you'll watch?
If I don't know the person, 35 to about 50 seconds. If it's like 2 minutes, like, I'm gonna be real with y'all, like, I'm not watching it unless unless I know you. If I know you, like, yeah, I'll watch a 2-minute video. But like, if it's longer than that, basically, I know it's basically going to be waffle. You're not really going to be saying anything, and like, I got other things to do, so I'm just keeping it 100. And I'll tell you the things of what not to do, because then you just do the inverse, right? So number one is the thing that actually is my biggest pet peeve, and I actually won't watch the video if you do it, is if you introduce yourself, because I already see your name and I already see your company on LinkedIn. I don't need to know that. I think it's just like an irrelevant information. Hey, I'm so and so from this company. Yeah, I know that. I see your LinkedIn. I see your name. I'm very aware. So that 3 seconds, you just wasted your time. So I don't even introduce myself, and I don't recommend people not to introduce themselves. Just get into the reason of why you're reaching out, so at least I can hear you out. I think two is when you don't come in the first like 5 to 10 seconds with like something that you found. So you talked about if you've like posted something or an update. I have so much information out on me. It like like if you have nothing, like I don't know what to, like, you literally could just chat GPT and find like 5,000 things about me. It's not
Agreed.
hard. So if you come in and like you don't know about me, I'm not gonna listen in the first 5 seconds, because like there's just too much information out there for you just to miss this. The third thing is if you look like you're being interrogated, and what I mean by that is like you're in the dark. I've gotten these videos where people are like literally in the dark, and
Put
like
on.
I'm like kind of terrified. Like, I don't want to take a meeting with you. Like, I don't know what you're selling me, and I don't want to be a part of it. So if you look like you're like a being interrogated in the dark,
Yeah.
you will not get a response from me at all. The fourth thing is how you actually do the camera. Like, some people, I don't have my phone on me, but some people, when they like, I'll kind of use this as like, this is my charging pack. Some people will like have their camera going all over the place. And like that to me,
You're
like,
getting dizzy.
I'm getting dizzy. So it's like,
Like,
I
wait,
didn't
what? Where are
like,
you?
they're like bobbing and weaving, and it's like, I'm not here to
No.
get sick. Like,
Seasick.
yeah, like, why are you bobbing and weaving in your video? This is absolutely absurd. So yeah, I don't like that. And then the last thing is when they don't tell me what they want at the end. Some people absolutely nail the hook, the value prop, and then they just say like, yeah, and then they just end the video, and then they don't tell me like, okay, like, do you want me to like download something? Do you want a meeting? Do you want to ask me if I'm interested? So if someone doesn't have like that next step naturally, I think that's a big cutoff. And I like everything I just said there. If you do the inverse of that, you'll be successful.
Love it. We're so much on the same. So I was going to say, for me, really the 30 seconds is starting to be my cutoff.
Yeah.
Especially with the first reach out, and if your hook isn't great enough for me. And then at the end, it's super easy now to create, QR codes. We did it, as a matter of fact, for the book, like 2 seconds right before. You can have QR codes right to your website. So just directing people there. So again, you're not pitching, you are not selling. It's more fun why you're reaching out. And people want be interested, not interesting, I always say. So you want to make it about them. So what's going to be something that might be about them, showing them that you're interested in them, why you're reaching out to them. That's what people want to know. So you did a little bit of research beforehand, because there's way too much out there. And again, if you're just coming at me vanilla, I'm moving on anyway.
Immediate. And someone just said here, common courtesy to not, look, the things I tell you all, like, sometimes I'm like, I wish that wouldn't be true, but people don't care. That's the thing that's the biggest thing I'm going to tell you all. And like, that's not coming from me. That's coming from doing 10,000 prospecting videos and speaking to execs and asking them what they respond to, because this is actually a pro tip. And Kelly, I don't know if your team does this, but what I told my team when I led an SDR team, and I was like, every time we get a response, we ask, what was the reason you responded to this video? So I have anecdotal data on why people actually respond or don't respond. And then we also, the account executives, ask, what was the compelling reason that our SDR team did for you to get on this call? So over time, I've just collected enough data, and like, people genuinely do not care if you announce your name and your company, because that doesn't matter to them. They just want to know, what is the reason you're reaching out? Unless it was like, I don't know, Idris Elba, then I'd be like, oh, sick. But like, we're not Idris Elba. So and Kelly, you can like go
No,
again.
this is amazing.
But
So
like,
tell me, do you remember like when you first started doing this, like maybe what your top video was or what really got you going or knowing that this could work if I do more content like this?
um, like what, like basically like a content piece I did or a video I sent to someone. I was like, okay, this is the formula.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, one caveat point.
Yeah.
Courtesy does matter in certain regions. So let me not go too crazy with this. Like if you're in France or like if you're like in Japan, then like obviously it's dramatically different. But most of you probably aren't. So I'm just going to contextually add that point as well. So the thing for me actually was it's actually been recently,
Okay.
but I'll talk about it from the beginning. But the recent one is when I actually started doing videos outside.
Really? Okay.
You know, I live in Arizona and it's nice most of the time. So people think that I'm on the beach or something. It's like, no, I'm just in Arizona. But like when I was outside, like people, and I have like the screenshots of it, people were like, I felt like I was having a conversation with you and it felt very relatable because you were like outside talking to me and you weren't like in an
And is
office.
it video on you or is it on the scenery or kind
Uh,
of are you doing both?
yeah, it's like a video of me outside. Like it's basically like a video of me outside, like talking to somebody.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. And so like that's effectively like the way I was doing it. And so way better response when I was outside than anything else. And then I would say the first time it really connected with me is when I treated it as if I was just having a conversation with someone at an event. And it was because I recently got invited to go as an SDR. I got invited to go to work at an event, which by the way, for those of you in sales, I don't know if y'all remember your first event. Like, because when you're doing cold calling and cold emailing, you think everybody hates you. You're like, the world's out to get me. This is a terrible job. I don't know why I signed up. But then when you meet people in person and you've been emailing them 1,000 times, they're like, "Oh, nice to see you." It'd be like, "It'd been great if you responded to my email." Like what is the change in behavior here? So, anyways, that's when I actually was like, okay, I just treat it as a normal conversation. So when I started being like, "Hey, the reason for my video is," and I go into the spill, and I'll go over like my framework. I know people are
Yeah.
asking for it, but I would go, "Hey, this is the reason for my video. Here's just what I saw, and I think it might be applicable to you. And here's the call to action." When I kept it very casual, but I also had concise points, that's when it started working, and I started treating it like a movie trailer rather than a movie. Because most people, what they do is they're like, I need to tell about my product and everything in an hour or in a 5-minute video. No one's going to watch your 5-minute video if they don't know you. So I just treat it like a movie trailer, which is the goal of the movie trailer, right? Is to get you interested to watch the movie. So
Yeah.
then I was like, oh, okay, this works. And so it clicked with me that like everything you do prospecting wise is just the movie trailer. It's just enough excitement to get you to come watch the movie, which is basically come on me with the discovery call. So that's at least what I learned, and that's when it clicked for me. And then that's when I was like, I just need to keep it natural, keep it as a conversation. And another thing I'll add to this as well is I did 100 to 150 cold calls a day. So I know that's like kind of foreign for people now, but that's what it was back in the day. That was just what you had to do.
We're doing that now.
Okay, great. Most
Yeah.
people, most orgs don't. They're like, we
Yeah.
made 20 calls in a week, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, auto dialers, all of that. Yeah, no. We're
So,
good.
so within that, right? Like I just treated my cold calls as the video component. And then I just kind of rolled from there. And that's what I did. So that's at least like my answer to that.
And you know what? It's really fascinating that you're saying that because I think in anything, one of the key things to sales, first of all, if you can remember back to where all of a sudden, because yes, this is such a heavy job, SDR, sales, reaching out, heavy, monotonous, bringing you down, rejection. But once you get through and you start having success, there's no greater high, right? Like then you want more. I'm like, bring it on. Like once I started, and that's where when I saw other people like wanting to go out into the field and stuff, I actually started having so much success and having so much fun. I was like, this is actually a skill set that I can teach other people. I loved it on the phone. My training was called Just Pick Up the Phone. I love it. So once you have that, but what you'll learn is, again, when we talk about personal and professional, unless the pain is great enough, you're not doing anything. So here's what I mean, even in your personal life. I may not have a budget to have my lawn mowed or what have you, but maybe I live in an area, I'm traveling a lot for work. I'm like you, I'm going to all these influencer meetings now, and I don't have time to mow my own lawn. And so the homeowners association's like, hey, your grass is too long. We're going to start charging you every day that your grass isn't cut. I'm like, oh, shoot, I better go and get a lawn company. Now, a company could have been by 10 times, knocked on my door about, we'll mow your lawn. It didn't matter to me. Nope, I had plenty of time. Doesn't matter until that pain is great enough. So that's what you're trying to find out. You don't know. I say go in, find the hangnail, and then pull their whole arm off. How do you do that? It's not, again, going in just speaking about your product. You don't know. If they don't have a pain for it, it doesn't matter, and you've lost them. It's noise. So same with the video.
So a couple questions coming in here on like how to do the video. So basically how this works is number one, use your phone. Again, a lot of video providers get upset with me, but this is just the way it is. I don't recommend using the Vidyards, et cetera, of the world because it just creates more friction for the buyer. The buyer has to do 3 clicks before they watch the video. If you create the iPhone video and send it direct to the person, it's just 1 click. So that's obviously the discrepancy. So the way that I would encourage you to look at this is get an iPhone and whatever you have. Use your phone, record the video, be first degree connected to the person, and upload the video. Those are the only steps you need. Now, if you want to take it to the next level, like we've been talking about, if you want to do CapCut, et cetera, that's fine. I would just recommend to just do it raw in the beginning so that you can get an understanding of how your cadence is and how you deliver, and then send it to that person to get the response. That's effectively like the way that I look at it. In terms of the structure, the way that I look at this is observation, observe the observation, pain point, how we can help, call to action. Those are the 5 steps for every single video that I do. I will drop in a link that has videos that I've done, and you can watch them live from a time perspective. Like, I don't want to do that right now, but like I can just put in the link, you can go watch them live, you can go see all the stuff like that. You can go see everything in there. But the whole premise of the videos is the reason I want to introduce myself is because, like, again, that doesn't matter. I just start with a reason. So I might be like, hi, Kelly. The reason for my video is I was on LinkedIn and whoa, okay, I saw that you just hired 10 new SDRs. And typically when that happens, that means that your pipeline goals have increased. And I'm not sure if this is for you or not, but I've seen that a lot of people, when they're trying to hit that pipeline number, they want to tap into LinkedIn as a pipeline engine. So we have a framework that we walk people through on how to break through target accounts, and it might be applicable to you. So if you're open to learning more, maybe we can swap some notes on what I've seen. That's literally it. And I could repeat that over and over and over again. And I just insert different context points every single time. And that allows you to have videos at speed. Because the reason most people don't do videos well is because they just think they can just show up and make a video, or they don't know what to say. But if you make an observation of what's going on, that means I've shown, I've done my research. If I point out why this observation is important, I pointed out a pain point that probably is happening. Then I provided a solution if it's important. And then I also have a call to action. And I always use the language not sure or might, because to a point, I don't know 100% if that's the case or not. I'm just basing it off of information I've seen in the past. So hopefully that answers the question for someone that said in there, how do you do these videos? Like, that's literally how I do it every single time.
The other thing I find really important, it's, when people call and they say, they just assume because you're in VP of sales development, here's the things that are probably top of mind for you. Like that could be, but sometimes people are like, you're most concerned with, well, don't assume what's most concerning to me. Yeah, you don't know me. Like, hold on a minute. What I find is really good is when you ask somebody for help. So you could even be, again, not even going in about your product, but saying you want to learn more about, I'm in HR space. I want to hear from a chief people officer. Specifically, what is it right now that's most important to you? Ask them for help. Can you help me? Can you let me know? And I find that actually gets people to respond, because even if they don't want to, most people don't say no to somebody asking for help.
And that's also a good point as well. And then to your point, that allows you to understand the persona even more, right? So then it continuously helps you get better in the industry and how you're going about it, et cetera. So all those different things.
Exactly.
So let's go back to, okay, Gustavo, let me know if that helped answer your question. Memorable CTA. I think And Brooke, let me know if that helped answer the question about the hook. The hook literally is just like have a reason and find something that's compelling. The hook, successful hooks are just, are you actually focusing on the context of what the audience cares about? So I can give you like there's no like go-to hooks for like these types of stuff because it's just, you just got to find the information. Are they increasing their global expansion? Are they hiring more people? Is there a product update? Are they hiring a new executive? Like there's all sorts of stuff, but those are like the baselines of how I look at it. And then memorable CTAs, I find that like, um, if I use like, would you be open to a deeper dialogue, or would you be open to comparing notes? Hey, this is something interesting that I saw. Are you down to see? Like that stuff is just more, I call it like a collaborative call to action than like I'm forcing you to do something. Because if I ask you for 30 minutes, you're probably like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
like it's just like not really gonna work.
Yeah, like we just met. You need to buy me dinner first. Like,
At minimum. And take me somewhere nice. Don't take me to like, Burger King or something. It's gotta be nice.
no chains. It has to be a good one.
Okay, cool. Lucas, yeah, I'll say it one more time. So basically, when you think about a video, there's 5 steps. And then after, I'll put this inside of the chat for the event so everybody can see the stuff. So it's observation, like what is the context of the observation? So basically, like you're calling out what's going on and why. Then the pain point, and then the actual solution, and then a call to action. So when I would do a video, it's like, hey, Kelly, the reason for my video, because I was just browsing on LinkedIn, saw that you actually have hired like 10 reps in the past like 3 months. And typically when I see that, that means that you probably have an increase in pipeline goals. I'm not sure if that is the case, but normally when that does happen, they're trying to find channels to increase that pipeline. And LinkedIn is normally the number one that they're looking at. And so I built a whole entire strategy on how to use LinkedIn to break into target accounts using Sales Navigator. And it might be applicable to you based on what I'm seeing. So if you're open to a deeper dialogue on it, be great to chat. That's literally it. And so, but again, I'm using might and not sure because like I genuinely don't know. But I think it might be right, but I also don't know because I'm not 100% certain.
And that's making you human. Again, you're not just going in there for the hard sell, right? You're just having a conversation. I don't know. So that's what I love about that.
Brooke, so the thing there is that like my collaborative call to action is going to lead to a meeting. So if they're open to share ideas, then we're going to meet. It's just another way of asking for a meeting. So that's the context there. Virtual coffee chat. Kelly, how do you feel about a virtual coffee chat? If I hit you up and say, well, let's do a virtual coffee chat, do you feel excited about that, or you're like, don't say that?
Yeah, I don't respond to those.
You're like, okay, no.
I don't.
Virtual
No,
coffee.
I just, yeah. I don't know. Again, when I don't know you, that's why maybe you lead up to that and then I would do something, but more at the point that I'm going to meet with you, it's going to be on the business. Like I want to hear something. So the coffee chat then at that point to me is too casual.
Yeah.
Like I want to get to it. But at the beginning, when I don't know you, I'm like, you don't have to send me a coffee card. You don't have like, I'm not going to respond to that. Like I'm all set. But it's great if again, I just like what you hear and I'll click on a link so I can do more research because that's just it. We're in a world that I can do a lot of research. Most people before they come to you to actually buy anything have done most of their research anyway. So there's an interest. So that's why it's multiple touches building up to why look at us, why those things are of interest. And the more you research certain people, you'll start to see a pattern of what they're probably going to be looking at.
Amazing. We got 7 minutes left. Kelly, you've been awesome. Hopefully you all feel the same way. You've learned a lot here. This is now the time for people to ask your lasting questions. If you got a rapid fire question, ask away, or if a personal question, whatever it is, let's dive into it because I believe we've answered most of the things here and appreciate everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed the breakdown. Again, I will add in the comments here around different stuff for you to go check out videos and things of that nature. But if people have questions, now is the time. Unless Kelly, you have a statement you want to make before.
I actually have a question for you because I'm fascinated by the influencer conference that you were just at and that you had the privilege of going to for what you're putting out there. Did you learn anything from other influencers that are doing content just out there publicly, like that you wanted to come back and say, I need to do more of this, or maybe try something new yourself?
Yeah, great question. So I think it was like very, very tactical and minutia things that I'm about to say, but like they're just important to me. So I had one person say that they booked, not only did they book all their content out a month in advance, the way that they did it I really liked. So they were like, hey, I basically write out all the concepts of what I want to cover. I i i really focus on the percentage amount of times that I talk about my company, and then I also really focus on like higher leverage and my expertise advice. So what they do is they go through all of like their comments, they go through DMs, they go through questions that they've had, and they try to figure out what is the best content for this upcoming month based on that. And like I think I do that sometimes like ad hoc, but not as not as locked in as this person. And so I was like, okay, great. So like my actually thing right now is we have this next week. Technically, for most people, it'll be off. Like most people aren't working. Most businesses are shutting down. I'm actually working on how do I get not only July's content but August content done, so that I can focus more on the business that I'm building and more focusing on working with clients and things of that nature. So that was a really big one for me that like gave me a lot of like perspective. And another one that I really liked was um, how do you consistently state the mission of what you are trying to do that sets you apart from other creators? So like there are a lot of other people that do sales content, right? There are a lot of people that are on LinkedIn, but what is the mission that's unique to you? And then how do you consistently articulate that message? So how do you say that in your newsletter? How do you say that in your content? I think sometimes I just say like, I have content out there and it is what it is, but they were like, how do you really ingrain that mission so you have more connectivity? Because they were just basically like, as AI continues to grow, you have to have a mission that you can stand by that's uniquely you, that AI cannot replicate or understand because it's so deep and ingrained into you. So I think those were two main things that I took away, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And now when you're thinking about, because same with this, when you're thinking about building out, content, are you watching what others are doing, what's hitting? Are you your audience? Like, how do you know, or maybe you don't know what's going to hit? You're just trying new things yourself.
So the statement I'm going to make is nothing against anyone. So hopefully no one in the audience thinks it's a certain way. I actually consume way less than most people probably. And the reason for that is that for the most part, we intuitively know what to do. We just try to validate it from other sources or try to make sure it's right because we don't want to be wrong. But at the core of it, if we really ask ourselves, what do we need to do? We do know. We just sometimes are hesitant or afraid. And I've been there too. So I'm not saying that I'm above all. I'm just saying that's just what happens, right? So because I consume less or I only consume like 3 to 5 people, I actually look at trends or things that have happened outside of this space that are successful. So for example, like I in 2022, I did a content house for B2B creators through an organization that I used to work with. And the only reason I came up with that idea is because Big Brother, TikTokers already did the content house. So it wasn't like new, it was just new to the space. But I already knew it worked because that already worked. So I was like, okay, this is proven this has already worked, but I can bring this in a space because it'll be new for these people, but it's not actually new. So that's the way I think about these things. Like this live show is based on a predication of something that Alex Hormozy did, and I just saw what he did, and I'm just doing the same thing. But like most people may not follow Alex Hormozy, but he's also done really well, so it's already proven, and I just do that. So I look at what are proven concepts that are already out there, and then how do I add my AMP Morgan spin to it so that it can be successful in that conduit. So that's the way I think about it.
And that's anything, right? I even tell my reps, go into your company, whoever the top rep is, just figure out what they're doing and then do it better. Get your own special sauce and do it better. I mean, companies, products, it's not like really when you look at it all, it's nothing new. It's just elevated. Whatever it is, it's just somebody went and did it better.
That's it. It's literally it.
Love that.
The answers are all there. And then some quick fires here. So I see some questions, Brian. I see yours, and then we'll get to everybody else's. Are there certain tools I use to bring content for? I use Claude and ChatGPT. Those are the main two I use. I don't know if Kelly uses anything else, but those are my
same. Yeah. And then just get really comfortable. Make your own GPTs. Do stuff to help you with your content too. AI is there. Let this be much quicker. Don't just think you have to create it all yourself either.
Exactly. So what is the next cutting edge tech outreach solution you see moving us towards outreach and engagement? So I don't think there is anything out there. I'm going to be like super direct with y'all. I haven't seen anything that's blown me away in terms of outreach. I think you should actually, I don't think you actually should be looking for the next tool for outreach. I think that you should be looking at how can I really be more human and understand the industry more, because I think people are starting to do that less. People are trying to grab for the next tech instead of understanding the skills that they need to be successful. And I don't think this question is wrong. I just think that just what I keep hearing from people is people are trying to figure out, how do I automate? How do I do more? And it's like, well, let's stop asking how to do more. Let's just start asking ourselves, how do we be better? Because if you do more and it's still bad, it's going to be worse. So I would really just kind of understand, how do you actually get good at the fundamentals of connecting on a human to human basis before looking at cutting edge. But like, I personally haven't seen anything that's blown me away. And Kelly, unless you have, like, you may be evaluating more tools than me, but I haven't seen anything that I'm like, wow, this is really sick. Like, not really.
Again, it's just innovation, and it doesn't matter. We could give somebody all the tools, you let them into the crystal ball of the future. But if you don't use it, if you don't get really skilled at it, if you don't find your own way with it, what does it matter anyway? It's all in how you end up presenting yourself with these tools.
Exactly. And then last question here, and then we'll get Kelly out of here because she's got things to do, y'all. We can't leave her here all day. So how are you using AI in your content workflow? I'm gonna ask it to you as well, Kelly. It's to me, but I'll ask it to you as well.
Yeah.
I use ChatGPT because I built my custom GPT. It has 684 pages of all Morgan content, so it knows me very, very well. It gives me very, very good advice. And then I built projects in ChatGPT. So there's like a business one, evolution one. There's one on relation. There's all sorts of different stuff, right, that I have in there. And it allows me to like really understand the content I'm doing. And then I have Claude projects to like distill the content. So basically, I've actually set up Claude now where it knows my voice so well that if I tested it, if I put a piece of content in there that's not my voice, it flags it and says, this isn't you. It's like, nah, this isn't Morgan. Like, who wrote this? Like, it will call me out. But like, I love it because like it's correct. Like, I literally put stuff in there on purpose to be like, oh yeah, I think this is a good post. And it's like, no, it's not a good post. Don't post this.
That's awesome.
So that makes it fun.
And then I use, GPT, Claude, Gemini, all of that. I recently, I use it so much. I did the whole, hey, GPT, we've talked so much now, what do you think I look like? That's a really fun thing if you haven't done it, to see what it thinks you look like. It's
Wait, I'm gonna ask you that now. I want to see it.
You got to go see. You got to go check it out. Just ask.
That's incredible. Well, all right, y'all. As we wrap up, I'm gonna put this up again. Definitely, if you enjoyed the advice from Kelly, go grab her book. It's out now, so you can go check it out. You heard her information, so you can get more in depth there. And Kelly, anything that you want to say or shout anybody out before we leave here today?
I just want to say to all of those out there in this sales world, this is a tough role, but once you improve your skill set, do everything you can to get better and better at it. It's the best job in the world. It opens up so many doors. So just keep going. And when you're having the struggles, when you're down and out, like it's not working, again, just go and listen to things like this, consume content to improve your skill set. We all have those days, but it's there. You're going to do amazing. So this is the role. You can do any other job. The foundation of sales goes with everything you do. So keep going.
Awesome. Well, Kelly, thank you so much for taking your time on this Friday. We'll let you get back to your team. Everybody else, let us know if you enjoyed this session. Hopefully y'all appreciated it. Again, go check out Kelly's book and have a great weekend. And then we won't see you next week for the July 4th. So everyone that is in the States, enjoy the July 4th, and we'll come back the following week.